So my dad, who was a U.S. Marine who served in the Pacific during World War II and who bought this Jeep surplus in 1949, has always told me that the rifle carrier on the Jeeps should be upside down. And when they did the restoration, they mounted this thing right side up. So in this video, I'm going to flip this upside down. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to do some research and see what I can find about whether or not Marines during the Second World War in the Pacific actually used these rifle carriers upside down. So to remove this rifle carrier, there's two carriage bolts that hold it in place, and it mounts to a bracket on the windshield on both ends. We're going to use a 1/2-inch wrench. There's not a lot of room to work back here, so we're going to be doing the 1/8 turn, 1/8 turn, 1/8 turn, that kind of thing. The bolts that are on here are a little long, so I can't get in there. Actually, you know what? I wonder if I can tilt that windshield up. I can. Now we can get in here with a ratchet. That'll make it go a lot faster. Now what's unique about the carrier, the way it's designed, it actually has square cutouts for the carriage bolt to fit in. So if you're familiar with a carriage bolt, then you know that it has under the head a square boss, and that square boss is designed to go into a square hole so that you don't need to have two wrenches in order to tighten them up. That wasn't very tight. I can already see this is a two-person job. Alright, so I've got it out. Now before I reinstall it upside down, let me show you what I've learned and discovered about how these things came out of either the factory or the depots and what they look like and how they were mounted. Because the War Department was prone to documenting everything, I went looking for a technical bulletin in my archives that covered the installation of the rifle carrier onto the windscreen of the Jeep. All I found was TB Ord FE number 6, which covered the modification to the rifle carrier necessary to hold the .45 caliber M38 submachine gun, which was too small to be contained by the normal rifle holding clips. Unable to find the document I was looking for, I searched through my reference materials looking for photos and other docs that might help me hit pay dirt. Well, I did. There were several photographs depicting the rifle carrier mounted to the Jeep, and they were all mounted in the same way in the same place. So now I know how it needs to be done. Before I put this thing back in the Jeep, what I thought I would do is on the bench where we can see sort of clearly how this works, I thought I'd install two World War II firearms into the carrier. Now I have an M1 carbine and I also have an M1 Garand. These would be two of the more typical rifles that would have been used, especially in the Pacific. Not that saying that they didn't use these rifles in all theaters, they did. But my dad tells me that in the jungles they sometimes preferred, depending on what the mission was, they sometimes preferred to use the carbines because it was smaller, more compact, and they could get into tighter places with it. But you could certainly debate that, and I would be okay with that. Let's talk about first how this carrier works. This part of the carrier is it's hollow, but it also folds up over, And it is in that hollow that the butt of the stock would have fit. There's also a spring pad that puts pressure up on the bottom of the stock to push it up against the top of this hollow. As well, on the front, there's another spring-loaded pad that the front of the gun goes into. It is compressed, and then this handle or this holder swings around and then compresses the forearm into the pad and then keeps it secure in the rest or in the carrier on the dashboard. So to install the carbine, we're going to put it upside down, or the top of the gun to the inside of the channel on the carrier, and we're going to mount it or lay it onto that spring-loaded pad, push it down, and then slide it to the back. And again, as I said, that sweep or that curve on that carrier is going to bind the buttstock between the toe and the cone. Come up here, this is a short rifle, so this time we're actually on the barrel itself. So we'll compress that and we'll slide that holder around. And now the carbine is securely mounted in the carrier, and when we turn this upside down, it's actually going to look like this in the Jeep. Now the carbine's not quite so easy. The carbine is a huge rifle. It's a heavy rifle, and it takes up most of the carrier. Because it's so large, and again, this is floating free, it's not in the Jeep, you can see how high this is above the fold in the carrier. So we need to push that down with sufficient force or significant force to get it to fit under. Now imagine this thing mounted underneath the dashboard, and you're trying to do that up into the dashboard. So we're going to push this and we're going to slide it back as far as it'll go. And then that's the same thing that we're going to push down on that spring pad in the front. But because this is so much thicker, we need to push it down with some force to get it so that the carrier arm or swing arm or holder arm is in place, holding it securely. And then the same thing, it would get mounted upside down in the Jeep like this. So a lot of the discussions that I've seen or had suggest that this was designed not only to be in the Jeep, on the dash, easily accessible, but depending on the climate, a lot of these Jeeps were used with the windshield folded down. So if you think about it, if the Jeep windshield is folded down, this is going to lay on the hood in this orientation. The idea is that you could simply undo the latch or undo the swing arm and then pull this thing and go right back into battery. Makes sense. I understand the concept and the theory. But I think if somebody was shooting at me, I'd want to be doing this as damn quickly as I can. Now, let me say this about the carrier. If you're interested in maintaining your rifles, especially your gun stocks, in really pristine condition, this carrier is not going to do that for you, because there's all kinds of places where it is rubbing and putting pressure on the rifle or the gun stock. First is right up inside of this area right here, where literally there's a bead. This whole thing has a bead. The edge is all beaded, but it is actually, the stock is actually rubbing up against this area in the rifle holder. And it's the same with this this swing latch that goes in. That takes some stress or puts some stress onto that front of those gun stocks or the barrels. So they are going to wear finish, they are going to wear bluing, or even the parkerizing, it is going to wear it. So if you plan to put these or mount these in your Jeeps for display, which is fine, just know that if you use them the way they are, you are going to get some potential wear on the stocks or on the metal itself. So as I said, all we need to do is flip this upside down. There are the same corresponding mounting holes right across from each other on both ends of the carrier. And in fact, there's a little bit of a notch or a cutout in this area right here that allows it to fit over that bracket and fit up nice and flush against the dashboard. All we're going to do is just reverse the order, and of course it goes up into these brackets on the windscreen. And let's see if I can do this on my own. This is a little bit tough. I don't want to scratch everything up. So let's go and get the carriage bolt installed first. And we'll come up against the we'll put those in just loosely to begin with. And then the same thing, there's a notched or square hole for the carriage bolt on this side. And we'll put that right inside. What I like about this right off the bat is with this thing upside down, there's plenty of clearance between my knuckles on the steering wheel and the carrier. And I know that the way it was, several times as I was trying to whip it around, I'd end up hitting my knuckles on that part of the carrier that was sticking up. So this is a much nicer low profile feel than what it was. As a matter of fact, I can see all the way out the windshield right now. I like this a lot. This is good stuff. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this little video, please tell your brothers, tell your fathers, tell your mothers and sisters and all your friends that you enjoyed this video by giving it a thumbs up. Trying to grow this channel, folks. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your experience with these rifle carriers. Guys, I appreciate you being here. I will see you in the next video. Now, what am I going to do next? You know, when you own these old vehicles, there's always so much to do. There's so many things that never ever end, that never get done. I think it is probably the charm of owning an 80-year-old vehicle. You know what I mean? Thanks for being here, guys.